guys, today I am going to do a video. The title says I have been wanting to do this video forever, but I was just trying to figure out a way to format the video in that it made sense. I do have a little bit of the flu today, so please bear with me. I may sound a little bit croaky. Hopefully you guys can still hear me and understand what I'm trying to say. So what I'm going to do is basically show you what I use and what I do in order to take off my face makeup entirely. So first thing I would do, now I am wearing lashes. By the way, if you're interested in seeing this look, I'll put a link right here to take you to this video. So I first just grab and just from one end just kind of peel off. Let me see if I can get you guys a little bit closer. And I always save my eyelash trays so that I can reuse the lashes. So what I typically do first, and I am wearing glitter on the eye, and I chose this specifically because this is like really extreme. I'm wearing like lip stain, which doesn't really move, doesn't really come off that easy. So the first thing I use is good old wax. Good. And what I'm using this wipe for is to get rid of the glitter that is on my eye. I find the wipes the most effective. If you see me looking this way, it's because my mirror is this way. I find the wipes to be most effective at removing glitter, or at least the majority of it, because I don't want to start cleaning this up and then glitter gets all over the place, all in my eye. I mean, yes, it's cosmetic grade, but at the same time, you don't want to overdo it and just stick the thing inside of there. So anyhow, I would start by taking off as much as I can. Now I am very lightly wiping the eye. I'm trying not to pull too much. I'm just taking off a little bit at a time. And because this is wet, I find that it works really well. You can use a makeup remover wipe. I particularly like this brand, and I get the unscented sensitive one, and it works amazingly well. You've heard me say this before. Good. So once I'm done with that, I am pretty much okay, and now I start looking like a hot mess. Try and get off as much as I can from the eyes with that. So the next product that I tend to use, and this is the product that I think a lot of people are going to be like, oh my god, no. And this is an oil. This is Max Cleanse Off Oil, and I love this stuff, but you could do this with it has to be it has to be pure oil. You don't want to use anything that's refined or chemically with chemicals and stuff added to it. So virgin olive oil, cold pressed coconut oil, any sort of oil that's safe to eat will be safe to do this with, but particularly those two are really good because they also hydrate the skin as well too. So I take a couple pumps of this in my hand, rub it around, and then just go to tongue, like literally just start rubbing. It will look like Van Gogh painted on my face, but you know what, in the end everything is going to come off. So I just start literally just rubbing. The good thing about doing an oil cleanse is it gets everything. Down inside your pores, you'll get everything out. It also doesn't over dry the skin. Now I'm also taking this over my eyes. It's very, very safe to use over the eyes, more so if you want to play it even more safe, then you use the coconut oil, the cold pressed coconut oil in that manner. Oil cleanser is one of the most effective ways of removing all makeup, whether it's waterproof makeup, whatever makeup you have. This is a lip stain and it normally will not come off, but one swipe and it is all off. Right, so now that I'm looking a hot mess, I would grab some wipes and then just start taking off the excess, and you see it did an excellent job of taking all of that off. And it did a pretty good job of literally cleaning up every little piece of makeup that was on my face. At this point in time, if I was wearing, let's say, a long wear foundation, if I'm wearing like a color stay or double wear or anything like that, I would typically go in with this wash. I have been loving this wash, especially when I wear makeup. I don't use it too often because I do have dry skin, but for those of you who have dry, acne prone, not dry, oily, acne prone skin, this is fantastic. I highly recommend it. It's by Thomas Roth and it's called the Anti-Aging Gel Cleanser. As you can see, I've gone through quite a bit of it before deciding to make a video that featured it. I bought this in a set. I think it's the 21st birthday set. It's actually very, very well priced. For all of the items that you get in there, you get this full-size cleanser, which I've had, I believe, since around a little bit after Christmas or around Christmas time. And yeah, this, I don't use this I use it every day or every other day, at least once a day, and it's lasted me. And you literally need the amount of like a dime, a 10 cent. Because I do have dry, sort of very red, sensitive skin, I do have to try and avoid this because it does make my skin very tight, but it's gorgeous. It just takes away that dead, dull sort of look that your skin tends to get after a period of time, and it just works beautifully well. I use this normally after I do my makeup. When I'm wearing heavy makeup like what I just had on, I would use this. And then I would use a facial brush with it on the lowest setting. So I don't push the brush in. I actually just leave the brush on the skin and let it do what it's supposed to do. But because I don't have water around right now, I can't show you that. So we'll pretend for the sake of the video that I did do that. And that way my skin is absolutely squeaky clean. Now my skin is very acne prone, so you don't have to go as far as I do to get rid of your makeup. Typically after an oil cleanse, and by the time you've washed off the residue of that oil cleanse, you should be pretty much good to go. Now I have a condition that is called blepharitis. I think that's what it's called. Inside of my eyelid tends to get those little bumps because of the fact that everything on me is dry. My eyes are very dry, and when I get those little bumps there, it makes it very uncomfortable for me to wear contact lenses. In fact, my ophthalmologist told me that unless I had that condition under control, that I was not going to be prescribed my strength in contact lenses. So what they actually advised me to do, and this is something that I do, not only do you have to use it if you have this type of condition that I have, but this is something that they say is generally good health practice when it comes to your eye. Now this is Johnson's baby shampoo, and I know plenty of you are gonna be like, she done gone crazy. But it literally says no more tears, and we use this for babies, newborns particularly, when we have to shampoo them, so you know it's not going to burn your eye. I literally take a little bit out of this, and you do have to dilute it, so I will rinse my hand run my hand under the water and just sort of dilute it, and then I take that and literally I go all the way around on the inside. I lift my eye and clean any residual liner or anything from on the inside there. Sometimes I would even take a Q-tip if I have a particularly stubborn eyeliner, and just sort of clean that up. My eyes are very used to it. If you have very sensitive eyes, I would err on the side of caution, but it's safe because the ophthalmologist himself or the optician or whoever it was, they recommended this to me, and they said that it actually is going to be better for the health of your eyes and your eyelashes, by the way, because I have very thick eyelashes. I think that's why my eyes tend to collect a lot of debris, and I can get little growths, you know, those little bumps in your eye. Anyway, that's enough of that lovely information. So I would typically go in with this, but of course you do not have to do it. I do suggest it. It works wonderfully for removing waterproof mascara, especially at the base of the lash line if you have a lot of residue. It works great for taking off eyelash glue residue as well too, and it does not bother your eyes. So I would typically use that. Now right before I apply now if I wear a foundation like Double Wear, for instance, or Revlon Color Stay, I tend to still, because those products are they're meant to sort of stick to the skin and they get into the pores. I have very large pores here, and very acne prone skin in this area, and if I do not clean that out entirely, I am going to break out like crazy. So the one thing that I found, crazily enough, even though I have very dry skin, is by using an astringent, and it actually helps to get whatever leftover makeup there may be in that pore. I am going to catch it with this product. And this one in particular is the one that I like, and this is the Neutragena Clear pore. It's pretty cheap actually, and I just take a little cotton pad like this, and you will see, even though I did an oil cleanse which looked like it got most of it out, I'm just going to grab the cotton pad and just start lightly. It is very well astringent smelling, and it can't be drying on the face if you do not follow with a moisturizer. But I just want to show you the power of this bad boy to clean. And sometimes, let me tell you, even after all of those steps that I have to do, I still get stuff coming out. I do this usually at the end of my day, only when I'm wearing very heavy makeup, or if I just feel like my pores are getting a little bit clogged. And this does contain salicylic acid, so it's good for acne prone skin. You want to be careful you do not use it near the eye area or anywhere that has like broken or very sensitive inflamed skin. And it just does a really good job. Like after you finish using this, it does an excellent job of just cleaning the face. So I'm just going to show you the horrid mess where we thought my face was clean. This is what it picked up. So literally, like, all of this would have still been on my face had I just used the oil cleanse only. It just cleans everything up. Now I do have to moisturize very heavily when I use this product, which is not every day. Again, it's only when I have very heavy makeup and I feel very sort of weighed down in my pores, I tend to use this. And then I would usually follow this up with a nighttime moisturizer. The one that I'm using is the Clinque one, but you guys would have seen this in another video already. I suggest, regardless of what skin type you are, you need to use a moisturizer. If you cannot use something as heavy as this, or if you're oily skin, I suggest using the oil, the Cetaphil regular, just the body lotion, the normal one that's in the pump. You can actually use that all over the face, and it's going to be fine, because I use that as a daytime moisturizer, and with my finicky skin it does absolutely nothing, and it works amazingly well. It just absorbs right in and leaves no greasy feeling. So good, that is it. And that is basically my routine that I use to take off really deep down makeup. If I'm not doing very heavy makeup and all I did was just maybe like a BB cream and let me zoom you guys back out. If all I did was just like a BB cream and something very light, then I won't use all of those steps. Typically I will just wash my face with just the cleanser only, without the brush, and then I would of course probably go in with a little bit of this guy and moisturize like normal. So this is my bare skin. As you can tell, I use these products. So that is it for my video. Hopefully you found this informative and not too time consuming or too hassling. I mean, honestly, this is the skin that you have, and if you do not take, if you're one of those people who just really lucky and you can just go to bed without taking your makeup off and wear your makeup for like 3 days. I have crazy clients who do that kind of crap, and they like normal and their skin is fantastic and flawless. But if you're like me and you get a pimple at the slightest sign of anything wrong, then I highly suggest, if not checking out all of the products, that you check out at least a few of them. So thank you so much for watching. As always, all of the information on everything that I've mentioned will be in the description box below.